to, in part, that area of low pressure that's swirling off the southeast coast. Our virtual view gives us a glimpse of what it could look like here throughout the day in Tampa. So you might want to have a plan B for your outdoor plans, right? Be able to pull everything inside real quickly, which you might be doing anyway. It's too hot to have all the food outside. We've got temperatures today in the 80s. Dew points are in the 70s. It is hot and humid, as we know and love here in the Tampa-St. Pete area. But thunderstorms in the forecast today. Some could bring some heavy rainfall continuing off and on through tomorrow, and even on Sunday, still some showers. So, Greg showed us what's going on with this thing off the coast. But there's all this trailing tropical moisture that we've been stuck in. We had it all day yesterday with really big downpours all across the Sunshine State. And today, really, the atmosphere hasn't changed at all. So we still see those scattered showers in place. We're watching them right now across the southern part of the state here. They are scattered. Not everyone is getting them, but we'll be in and out through the day today. We also have some other risks to talk about, and that's the rip current risk. It's a moderate one for you right along the first coast, down through the Space Coast, also coastal Georgia and South Carolina, a moderate risk of rip currents for today. When it comes to rain, some of the heaviest will be offshore. That's where some of the most thunderstorm activity will be located. But we've got these pockets of heavy rain potential over Florida, again, with that tropical air mass in place, and we'll see the chance of maybe 3 to 5 inches of rain. This does go through the weekend, so it's not just all at one time necessarily, but the big rainfall rate can drive that concern for some street flooding. We saw it in North Miami yesterday. We could see it today, and then again tomorrow into Sunday, maybe into northern Florida. All right, so in the forecast, this is the forecast radar. Again, offshore, a lot of activity, but the trailing moisture bringing through some scattered showers. We see that continuing into Saturday as we get into your later Saturday into Sunday, maybe a little more North Florida, but it is very isolated in nature as we get into Sunday. So that's some good news. You get some opportunity to get some dry breaks out there, and then we'll move it up along the coast for some of those impacts into South Carolina and into North Carolina as we get through the weekend. Mother Nature will deliver its own fireworks for the Orlando Metro, maybe putting some 4th of July events at risk. Senior national correspondent Justin Michaels is in Winter Park, Florida, where Independence Day events are underway ahead of any stormy weather. I do love a 5K. That's such a great way to start your holiday. This morning I was driving to work. I was just sort of getting that feel to the air. It's sort of a holiday feel, right? It's warm, it's sunny, summer-like feeling. You're feeling it too here in Wilmington, North Carolina. But we may have some thunderstorms as we get through the weekend that could put a damper on some plans. Today actually looks pretty good, but tomorrow, chance of showers, Sunday, and even Monday, thunderstorms are in the forecast. For the coast, if you're heading to the beaches, we do have a moderate risk of rip currents, South Carolina, North Carolina. So if you're in Wilmington, maybe you're going to Wrightsville Beach, pay attention to the lifeguards there and watching for any trouble spots. A lot of times it's near the piers or near any jetties that can be really more problematic for rip currents. When it comes to flooding, the possibility is there Saturday into Sunday. We're talking about Florida, but also along the coast, from South Carolina to North Carolina, from Charleston all the way up through Myrtle Beach and North Myrtle Beach, and then through Wilmington and Wrightsville Beach, Atlantic Beach, and then eventually the Outer Banks too. As we get later Sunday into Monday, that's when the heavier rain focus comes up into this area. Now, it's just a possible threat. Really a lot of the heavy rain does stay offshore. But we've got these bands of showers coming through, and they'll have a tropical nature to them, so they could put down some heavier rain at times. We'll watch for that as we get through your Friday into Saturday. Few showers come through. Then Saturday into Sunday, this is when it really gets a little bit rainier. We'll likely see this move on shore, regardless of what the state of it is, whether it's organized or not, subtropical, tropical, has a name or not. We will see the low pressure make its way onshore and bring the rain with it as we get into your Sunday, and then continuing, though, into Monday, moving north, moving out, and weakening as it goes. Let's look at wind potential, and some of those winds along the coast could be gusty, and wind direction does matter as well, especially from the rip current risk perspective. So where it's onshore, like this is your Saturday morning forecast, you're going to have an onshore wind right here on the beaches near Charleston. So this could increase the rip current threat. It will also increase the wave threat as well. It actually is going to be an offshore wind right here. So let me tell you, for the surfers down at Cocoa Beach, this is kind of an optimal situation for you. You like when there's a little bit of wind knocking those waves off, but certainly the wind will be a factor as well. Well, before you celebrate, the rain is still falling in the area. And Greg, I'm concerned that as even the water levels come down a little bit, people get they feel too safe, right? And they go out. But I think we're in this for at least another couple of hours.
Still raining very hard, as you saw that.
Now, we have lots of tropical moisture in place. And, you know, the system that Greg is talking about is over here in the southeast, but it's that trailing tropical moisture that gets us across the Florida Peninsula and why we still have rainfall in the forecast. I mean, you know, we know on any given summer day we have those pop-up showers and storms, but this continues to be a little bit extra with a lot of moisture in the air, and that could lead to some possible flash flooding. We've got that today into tomorrow and into the end of the weekend. We'll have to keep an eye on maybe northern Florida, but then Sunday into Monday, now we bring up South Carolina and North Carolina into the mix for the risk of some of that heavier rainfall. On the coast, moderate risks of rip currents. It might be higher in some spots, especially when those waves increase getting in Saturday into Sunday, South Carolina and North Carolina. And rainfall here, it's about 1 to 2 inches. You did see the totals were a little bit higher across much of the Florida Peninsula, where you get into some of those bigger downpours. And so we'll see that on multiple occasions, not necessarily for everyone all the time, but you've got the rain chances. We just can't get rid of that. Sunday, we sort of get a little more isolated, but it's still out there. But, you know, you look at Saturday and Sunday, focusing more on the coastal South Carolina, especially the northeastern part of the coast, up towards Myrtle Beach, and then into North Carolina as well. That's where some of the rain will be heaviest. Elsewhere, let's go traveling and show you where we've got some problem spots. Chicago has been one I've been keeping my eye on with some showers in the area affecting air travel. We'll zoom in on there. Otherwise, we're actually at the moment not seeing any delays in Florida with no thunderstorms expecting terminals. And DFW and the Houston airports are not being impacted by the rain that we have in Texas. That is really focused in on back in the hill country. Now, right now, we've got the Chicago airport running about a 30-minute departure delay. It's decreasing, though, so it should be getting better soon. There's some showers in the area, but there's really not a lot of thunderstorm activity, and they are weakening. Otherwise, when it comes to turbulence, here are a couple of flights reporting some light turbulence moving over the Great Lakes area, a few in the southeast. There is some more moderate to severe turbulence out over the Atlantic waters. Northwest, a couple of flights reporting some light turbulence as well. From road travel to air travel, definitely monitoring that risk of thunderstorms to affect your trips. Northern Plains, if you're traveling on the roads, Montana, North and South Dakota, Nebraska, we've got some storms. At the airports, we're going to keep an eye on Texas for maybe a few delays. If you're traveling along some of the interstates like I-70, 80, 90, all the way up to 94, all of these could feature some showers or storms, especially as we get through later today. I think tonight, Minneapolis is when we could deal with some thunderstorms that could be on the heavier side, actually. And then southbound we go. Very isolated in nature down here into Florida. I mean, we've got some scattered showers right now, but it's not going to be everywhere all the time. So you just be ready for it. We've got the chance of showers again in Tampa, again in Miami, like we've seen. That'll be affecting us through today with the threat for some heavier rainfall at times in any one of these thunderstorms. Some big rainfall rates could drive some quick ponding of water on the roadways. Certainly today in Central Texas, that has been one of our biggest focuses for the dangerous spots for travel. Now, as we get through tomorrow, that won't be a factor anymore, but we're still going to see some rain chances. So new chance of rain, perhaps going up I-35 up towards the Dallas area. Could see some delays tomorrow. Minneapolis, you might be starting actually in the morning with some problems with thunderstorms in the area. And again, we've got the Florida Peninsula here in the crosshairs for the chance of some delays with thunderstorms in the forecast. Your Sunday travel, I-95, we've got some rain chances on the increase if you're traveling through South Carolina, North Carolina, and Virginia. And we'll also be watching for a few showers here into parts of the Midwest. No matter where you are, the